welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me on the banks of the River Ribble and we're in search of silvers on the stick float. Before we get into this week's vlog, I'd like to just thank everybody who enjoyed last week's video where we were on the River Severn in search of barbel. It was great fun to get those 2 barbel in the daytime, and thank you to all those that took the time to like the video and leave such nice comments. It really is appreciated, and thank you very much. So this weekend I decided to help out again on the Belmont estate, doing 2 days, making sure we get that island finished so we can fill the pool up and begin looking at reintroducing some fish into the pool. If you are interested in following it, there was a couple of live streams over the weekend on the Limb Facebook page, so head over there if you want to check them out. I can't wait for the coming weeks when everybody's allowed back on the pools, and keep an eye on the channel because there'll definitely be some vlogs on them pools in the weeks to come. Later on in the week I decided to do a short evening session into dark with Joshua. We were out in search of catfish, but despite seeing plenty of bubbling in the swim, none of the catfish showed, and we left happy with plenty of memories. Sometimes that's what fishing is all about. Later on this week I decided to get out of an evening with a few mates and managed to bag this lovely chub as it went into dark. So with them sessions done, you join me back on the banks of the River Ribble and we're in search of those silvers. Hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. Today you join me on the banks of the River Ribble and we're in search of dace on the stick float. The past couple of weeks has been spent chasing those barbel on the River Ribble and the Severn, and I've really enjoyed my time hunting those barbel. They are really great fun, and I'm glad that you guys have enjoyed the vlogs so much. It really means a lot when you leave those nice comments, so thank you very much, and I hope you've had a fab time bankside last weekend and I'm about to have one this coming weekend. Back to the session today, and hopefully today we will make contact with some of those dace that the river is famous for. We spent a winter chasing them downstream, and hopefully we can track them down a bit further upstream. So the setup that I'm going with today is my 17-foot Preston Innovations carbon active rod. I've teamed that up with a Shimano Techium reel with 4 pound 4 ounce float fish, and that is down to an 8 number 4 stick float, and I've got it fished shirt button style number 4 Dinsmore shot down to a 1 pound 7 ounce hook link of Bay of Purlon and a size 18 hook. The setup will hopefully do me well if we hit any quality fish, as well as being light enough to target the dace as well. So let's take a look at the swim that we're going to fish today. So we're living in luxury today. I've managed to bring my box along with me. Most of the sessions that I've been doing lately, I've just been stood up with the bait waiter and the keep net. Looking at the swim, you can see we've got some even pace water under our feet, and that is where I'm going to be hoping to target the fish. You can see the flow there if I zoom in. It's still here, but we've got that crease in the river there where the faster water meets the slower. We've got a good far bank marker. I'm going to be hoping to put my hemp round about here and target the fish. Looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming. As I say, a lot of time behind the barbel rods. It's time for a bit of fun chasing some dace. So looking at the side tray, we've got around about 3 pints of Cheshire Particle hemp, and for dace and silvers there's no finer holding bait than hemp seed. I've got a few maggots here, round about two pints there, but in total I've got around another 4 pints in a bucket behind me and in there. So we've got plenty of maggots to work with today, and then we've just got a few bits and pieces to tide us over. Some weights, disgorger and a depth plummet as well. So conditions overcast, which is good really because we have got really shallow margins and clear. but a lovely day to be fishing the stick float. So just flicking out, feeding the maggots upstream, pinch of hemp downstream, and we've got a good marker today in that far bank tree, and that is where we'll be hoping to get our bites. As always with the early parts of the session, you're just trying to get a few fish into your area, and that is what you're trying to achieve in these early stages. Consistent feeding, trying to go down the same line and just trying to draw fish into your area. As you've seen at the start, we've already had 1 or 2 bites, and if it continues like this, we'll have a very good day. And another fin perfect little dace, and reminds me of those days in winter, but we're sat here in a t-shirt in the middle of summer. Great stuff. Just into a slightly better fish, and it's a dace, and the swim is absolutely alive with these fish today. It's been a great start to the session. It's mad that already there's so many fish swirling for the maggots, such as the amount of dace that are actually in the swim, and it can make this type of fishing very difficult because you don't know how much of your bait is actually getting to the bottom. So that's where your baits like hemp become important. If they're coming up to the maggots there, then you have to question just how many of your maggots are getting to the bottom. So what I'll start to do is feed more hemp down the swim, because then I know that at least some bait is getting on the bottom. So like I've said on previous vlogs, your hemp is like you saying to the fish, that's where you want to catch them. If the fish are up here, then that isn't where I want to be catching them. So I'm just going to put quite a bit of hemp in one go and very few maggots. And the hope there is to push them fish back down the swim. And that dace just coming down the back of the swim where I've been feeding that hemp. And it is absolutely just solid with these dace. Quite hard to hit at times because there's that many of them. Sometimes you're not even seeing the bite because they're getting them maggots on the way down, but slowly just starting to get a few of them on the bottom on that hemp, and that's come by just reducing the amount of maggots that I'm feeding and increasing the amount of hemp. And I must say, on the channel we've been doing a lot of barbel fishing of late, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, but there is a bit of me that has missed fishing on the stick float for silvers. It's just what I enjoy doing, and thoroughly enjoying this session on the bank. You know, working at it, it's not easy, where you've got to keep working the shoal to try and keep the bites coming. And one of the beauties of dace is how you can manipulate the shoal to get them where you want them. And what was happening out there, we've now got them literally at the end of the rod tip. We started off the session by just wanting to get the fish into the area, and once we've got them there, now we've literally got them at the end of the rod.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the
hopefully,
future.
This little bit of the vlog has just shown how you can manipulate the shoal by just using the bait and how you feed it. You can catch quality dace like that, literally off the tip of your rod. So every so often the shoal will just disappear, and I think that is purely down to the fact that the margins are so clear. But we have got that cloud cover above us, which might help us to keep these fish that close in. The only thing that I don't want to happen is the sun to come out and it turn into a bright day. While it's dull and overcast, there's a very good chance these dace will keep moving out, but then we can keep drawing them back in and pick up a few. So just hooked into the best fish of the day. It's come right under the rod tip. It's going upstream. It just shows you can catch some very nice fish right under the rod tip. And this is either a foul hooked fish or a very nice one. I think it might be foul hooked, but you just take your time. I'm saying that because I don't really feel like I've got any control over the fish, but still, the fact that I can't get it right in the edge says to me it might be a decent one. A lovely bend in the rod. This guy has had me all over the swim. No idea what it is. I don't actually think it's foul hook. Just think it's a good fish. Oh, it's a big perch. It is a nice perch. Oh, that's a nice perch, that. It just shows you can catch big fish right under your rod tip. What a lovely perch that is. I haven't weighed him. What is he, probably a pound and a half, something like that. But great fun. 1/7 bottom, a size 18 hook, and caught right underneath my feet. It just shows you get your baiting right, you can use that hemp and maggot to get the fish where you want them. And that might be why it's gone quiet. If these guys are moving in, then the dace will most definitely move out. Let's get this lovely fish straight back. And amazing how those small dace return as soon as you catch that perch. It's like they just sit on the outskirts waiting for it to disappear, and then they're straight back in. Proper made up with that perch, really am. It's always good when you know, get those better fish that give you the proper scrap. And when they start heading upstream and you don't know what it is it a roach? Is it a foul hooked fish? And then up comes a perch. Great fun. And an excellent quality of fish now coming to the net, all of this stamp and great fun. Literally coming just past the rod length out, where you can see that flow there. And there's only one thing more grim than fishing in the rain, and that's knowing you've probably got to pack in the rain as well. The day hasn't half turned. The brolly's up and we're dry for now. It's another quality dace. The rain's coming down now, which threatens to ruin an enjoyable day, but with a palm full of dace, you've got to be happy. What a way to end the vlog. Last knockings, a stunning £1 11-ounce roach. And what a way to end the vlog. Worth sitting through the rain, that nice perch, and we'll have a look at that final net and see how we've done. But we'll let this guy go back straight away. What a lovely end to the session. Let's take a look at that final net.